Hey everybody, this is Adam again at Archery Country. Today's video, we're going to talk about different Picatinny rail mount sights for the Hoyt bows. In 2021, Hoyt came out with the option with the Picatinny rail on their carbon and aluminum riser bows. Why is Picatinny rail mounts a benefit? Basically, it's going to create a sleeker, more solid, stable mount for a sight. It also keeps it in line, so that way as the risers get thicker, we have enough windage adjustment by mounting that straight onto the riser. Also, by doing so, it moves the weight more in line above your hand. Also, when you have a quiver system, you can get that much closer to the riser itself. That way you don't have as much torque going on, trying to get that straight and offsetting that weight. And so we got a couple different brands and varieties out here, so we're going to dive on in. So the first sight we're going to go over is from Black Gold. It's our custom Archery Country Ascent Verdict Assault sight. This one here has a 2-inch housing, 4-pin option. Most people do in 20, 30, 40, 50 on that. The bottom pin is going to be a .010 pin. That way for your farther distances, you're not covering up as much of the animal. This is a driver style sight with 2 sight needle indicators. Most people have that reading out with your top and bottom. So minimum sight movement needed, but if you do want to dial in precisely for those in between distances, you can with this one. As you see, this one is a dovetail bracket originally. All the Black Golds are going to come with either the X-base or else the dovetail. Additionally, they do sell the AST bracket. That's the bracket needed to make it fit on a Picatinny rail mount. This here will just mount on the very back. You can still line up all your axes. Perfectly functional sight. Once you convert that over, works really well with the Picatinny rail mount. Next sight, again from Black Gold, the new for 2022 model is the dual track. This one here we have equipped with that AST bracket. As you can see, it's a really nice compact sight option. What's really cool about the dual track is it's going to be for a multi-pin configuration unique for Black Gold. It's going to be a vertical pin presentation. So we have a green and a red pin here. What's cool about these is that we can actually set the distance for that bottom pin. So that way if you want a 20 and a 30 yard gap or a 20 and a 35 or 20 and 40, kind of varies on the speed of the bow as well. You can actually physically adjust that. So that way it's not just some random gapping. It has the dual indicator needles as well. So that way you can scroll out through your yardages and you always know what the gap is between that top and bottom pin. Allows for some gapping where the single pin, you don't have that option. Allows you to get a more distance out of a scope housing as well by having that on there. But really nice sleek sight from Black Gold here in the dual track. Next sight we're going over is going to be from Fuse Archery, which is made by Hoyt. This sight here is really nice. It's a fixed pin, 5 pins, .019 type pins. Different color arrangements in there. Basically this one, you do not need an extra bracket to mount on the bow. It's meant to be on a Picatinny rail system type bow. All the adjustments are really sleek on here. Basically you got these finger knobs, you can loosen it up and then you can micro adjust the entire housing or the windage on here. The individual pins, there is no micro adjust. You just gotta use an Allen wrench to move those. It comes with a sight light as well, so you can light that thing up for low light situations. You can level your first axis on this sight, but a pretty nice, good bang for the buck type sight for somebody wanting a fixed pin option for their Picatinny rail mount. Next sight we got is from Black Gold. This one here is going to be the Widowmaker. This is a fixed pin option. The Widowmaker has a micro adjust left and right and up and down housing micro adjust. This one comes with the MCR bracket. The MCR bracket is going to be different than the AST bracket. MCR is made just for the Widowmaker. This one here has 3rd axis and 2nd axis adjustments. As you can see, this is a 7-pin, but stock, it's going to be a 5-pin. But the nice thing about the Widowmaker is we can change out whatever size pins you want, whether it's a .019, the ones that come stock on it, or whatever color, or if you want a smaller pin option on there, or if you want 7, like this one. So very good model here in the Black Gold Widowmaker. The last sight we're going to talk about is going to be the Garmin A1i Pro. This one here is going to be the Hoyt edition. It comes with the Picatinny rail right out of the box. What's really cool about the A1i Pro is that it has micro adjust, windage and elevation, and then also for the half moon adjustments to get the reticle alignment down, which is really, really nice when setting these up. It really expedites the process. With the A1i Pro, this one you can have multiple arrow builds. You can have different color reticles. You can have a flight apex to know how high your arrow is going to arc. It also has an extra distance mode, and so that way you can actually reach out farther than the static range for those that really want to push the limits. It's nice to have on a pick rail just because it's a little bit heavier than most standard sights that we went over earlier in the video. And so to get that weight over your hand as compared to having a fight of a stabilization makes it a really, really sleek option. The A1i Pro, really easy to sight in, has automatic calibration, and then you can just go to a farther distance. You don't have to do every 10 like on the previous models, and do a 1 arrow type verification at a time. It doesn't take long to get this thing dialed in at distance. All these sights we have at our stores, whether it's Brainerd, Rogers, or Waite Park. If you have any questions on them, feel free to check out our podcast and other YouTube videos where we highlight some of these sights specifically. If you want to get them in your hands and handle them, we're all stocked on them. Make sure to like and subscribe. We got a lot more archery content coming out your way. We appreciate the time.